Hey, it's Thursday, and you're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andi P, the show that's chasing dreams and crushing goals. And today we are doing that from Brooklyn, New York. That's right, my goal here is to help you live a healthier, happier, more balanced life wherever in this wide world you or I happen to be today. Our focus for this year is learning to love ourselves unconditionally. Unconditionally, no matter where you are, physically, mentally, spiritually, no matter where you are, because wherever you go, there you are. Yeah. I tell people that a lot. In fact, I tell my sons that a lot. And that's why I am in Brooklyn today, because my son lives here and I'm running the Brooklyn Marathon this Sunday. So we will probably talk a little bit more about that as we go through the show. But when I think about where you are, do you ever think your life would be better if you were someplace else? You know, like small town kids, we hear a lot about this. They grow up and they move away. They can't wait to get away because any place else is going to be better than this town that I've been tortured by growing up in, right? They go away, and then what happens? So often they end up moving back, and you may even be one of these people, right? End up moving back because you realize that it wasn't so bad. You know, it was a pretty good life all along. It's just right here, right? It's all in our mind and how we think about where we are, you know. And some of us never outgrow that urge to keep moving, right? I know that's kind of me. Perhaps we're the gypsies, you know, and we have the thought, there's only one place I want to go, and that's every place I've never been. Yeah, that's kind of the way my mind works. So whether you're a homebody, whether you're a gypsy, maybe you're something in between, the key to being happy is just loving yourself right there, right where you are. So yes, as I mentioned, I'm loving myself right here in Brooklyn, New York, and it's a very interesting place to be. I went to the expo today to pick up my number and my packet for the Brooklyn Marathon. There are 20,000 people signed up to run in either the marathon or the half marathon. We all start together, and then, yeah, some of us will run 13 miles and some of us will run 26. This is my very first ever full marathon, so you can imagine that I'm super nervous about it. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I've had a couple of anxiety dreams about it. I had a dream that I got lost and couldn't find the route, which is hilarious when you think about there's 20,000 people, not like you're going to get lost. There's going to be somebody you can follow. So just a little bit of anxiety about this, but that's the thing. You know, if we don't challenge ourselves, if we don't push ourselves out of our comfort zone, if we never have that anxiety, then what are we doing? You know, what are we working toward? There's always got to be something. So, you know, I don't care what my time is. Of course, I always, you know, in the back of my mind have a time I would like to hit, but this is the first one. So the goal is to learn a lot and do the best I can and get to that finish line no matter what it takes. So I'm super excited, and I know I have some friends that are downloading. They do have a NYC Runs app that you can actually download to follow along. So I actually did put the link already on my Eat, Play, Live Facebook page. And so I'll add my number so that you know which one I am. If you have any interest in following along, I'm sure my mom will. So, and hopefully both of my boys are going to be here cheering for me, assuming they get up before I finish. I mean, it's going to take me like 6 hours. Surely they'll get up before I finish, right? Well, I'll let you know if they make it. So we'll see. But so first things first, I'm here a few days now before the event. So eating before a race. And if you were watching my show before I did the half Ironman back in September, you know that the food leading up and during the event is very important, especially during a run. You just don't want to have anything that's upsetting your stomach or giving you any kind of distress in that way, right? So the trick when traveling, it adds just an extra degree of difficulty to that because you're not at home, you don't have your own kitchen. I am in a hotel right now, as those who are watching on Facebook Live may have noticed by the exciting decor, but it's really chilly and windy and loud outside. Otherwise, I wanted to do my show outside, but it just wasn't going to cooperate. That's okay. Got this nice, lovely hotel room that has a mini fridge and a microwave. So when those are all you have to work with, you've got to get pretty creative. So yesterday I found a little grocery store around the corner and picked up a few things that I could make and keep on hand so I can at least eat some food that my body is familiar with, and higher carbs this week than maybe I would normally do, but I did run a little bit this morning, and with the big run coming, I'm not worrying as much about watching my levels as far as that goes. Really, my priority is to eat things that are going to be easy for my body to digest, and also not spend a fortune, because this is New York and food is ridiculous, okay? I had soup and a beer for lunch, and it was $20 for soup and a beer. Like, seriously? Anyway, so wherever you are, wherever you're traveling, and for whatever reason, eating there can be something of a challenge, right? And so you need to know what your goals are. Are you traveling for an event such as this, or maybe some sort of event like a wedding, or maybe you're just on vacation, but you still want to look good in that swimsuit? You know, most of us work to go on vacation so that we look the best we can, and then get there and immediately start eating a bunch of junk and drinking whatever comes our way, and then we're all bloated, and what was the point of working out before we left? So, little trick, to try to keep on an even keel even once you get to the destination, so that you don't end up doing the blowfish thing and kind of ruining all your progress there. Or, even if you're on a business trip, just because you're out of your normal element, was that the elephant? I don't know. Just because you're out and about, you don't have to go hog wild, okay? Give yourself a couple of meals. Say you're going somewhere for a week. A couple of meals, enjoy. Pick good ones. Pick things that are gonna have memories for you. Do not go to a chain restaurant. I don't care where you're traveling or why. Do not go to a chain restaurant. That just totally defeats the purpose. I want you to go somewhere that is of the area, right? I mean, I'm in New York. If I don't eat pizza while I'm here, then somebody just shoot me, because that would not be okay. You have to eat pizza. Oh my gosh, Grimaldi's in Brooklyn. Yes, that's a thing that has to happen while I'm here. So, okay, so there's a thing. But for the rest of the time, eat right. Eat what you know is on your plan. Stick with the lean meats. Stick with your complex carbs. Avoid sugar as much as possible. Don't go super crazy on the alcohol. Just do the things you know to do, and don't use the fact that you're away from home as an excuse to just go crazy, okay? And keep food on hand. Like I said, I went to the store and I keep food here because, especially in a place like New York, where everywhere you go takes a lot longer to get there than you thought it would. It took me 2 hours to get from the airport to the hotel yesterday. A bus, 2 trains, and then walking several blocks to finally make it to the hotel. So you're starving before you get anywhere. So plan ahead. Keep a protein bar somewhere on hand. Keep some sort of snacks. I've got some wasabi peas in my bag. Whatever it takes. Rice cakes. Yeah, I was eating rice cakes on the bus. I don't recommend eating on the subway, however. It's just something germy about that anyway. But don't let yourself get to the point where you're starving, because like getting groceries when you're starving, we all know that we're going to make bad choices. So plan ahead, keep something with you, keep water, always stay hydrated so that you're not getting to the point where you're just starving to death. And keep moving, move your body. It was very sad to discover that my hotel does not have a workout room, no fitness facility at all, which just, are they allowed to not have that? I don't understand, but they don't. However, I'm on an upper floor, so I just take the stairs, up and down the stairs. In fact, let's check the Fitbit for today. We are at 16,400 steps already today, so just keep moving. Just walk where you gotta go if you can. Take the stairs if you can. Just make decisions to make sure you're keeping moving as much as possible. Stay curious. That is what play is all about. Remember, this show is Eat, Play, Live. Well, playing is just moving our bodies, keeping them fluid and able to move and able to play and dance and do all the things that we want to do. That's why I call it playing. And, I've talked a lot about how to get movement in when you're traveling, because again, like with food, everything changes and you have to be a little bit more deliberate. You may discover that you're in a hotel that doesn't have a fitness room. And so you have to figure out, okay, what can I do differently? I can tell you that putting your yoga mat in your suitcase doesn't add a lot of extra weight, because I did that. Yeah, got my yoga mat right around the corner. So probably tomorrow be doing some yoga. And of course, since the marathon is on Sunday, I'm tapering now. So I did run this morning, only 3.5 miles, just an easy run to kind of get the lay of the land. Probably won't run again before Sunday. I'll do yoga. I'll walk a lot just because you have to. But yeah, there are other things that you can do. You just got to put your mind to it. So I thought it might be kind of fun to do a little quiz today. So are you ready? You won't be graded. It's okay. Don't get nervous. It's not a pop quiz, but let's see how much you've been paying attention. All right. First, true or false? Cardio is the only exercise that may help prevent heart disease. Cardio. Well, if you answered false, you would be correct. Cardiovascular exercise, also known as cardio or aerobic exercise, does raise your heart rate. It makes you sweat, and that is great for your heart. Also helps with blood pressure and cholesterol, and can even ward off some types of cancer, but it's not the only thing, okay? Weightlifting, weight training, even just 1 hour a week of adding some weight training also reduces your risk for heart attack and strokes. Okay, so cardio is great. It isn't the only answer. Number 2, aerobic. When we talk about aerobic, does it mean, get a multiple choice here, with air, fast heart, or quick breath? I need some kind of da-da music, but just make up your own. All right, the answer is with air. You knew that, right? Your heart's main job is to deliver oxygen to your body. So aerobic exercise or cardio helps it do this better. This is any activity that makes you need more oxygen, like jogging or running a marathon. Definitely going to need a lot of oxygen. Number 3, adults should get how much cardio per week? You want a multiple choice? Okay, I'll give you some choices. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or 3.5 hours every week. 2.5 hours. That's 150 minutes of Any exercise that makes you breathe heavier. I promise I only had one beer at lunch. Any exercise that makes you breathe heavier 2.5 hours per week. Yes, I did say any. Let your mind go there. Break it up any way you like. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's great. Just be sure that you're moving for at least 10 minutes at a time. Okay? You can do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes over lunch, 10 minutes in the evening, 5 days a week. If that's the way you want to break it up, okay, that works. You can't quite get to that magic number, that's okay. Anything you do is better than nothing, and it's still going to do your body good. So just do the best you can. Number 4, true or false? People with muscles burn more calories. True. Yes, your muscles burn calories even when you're not working out. I'm telling you, the more muscles you have, the more calories you'll burn. So if you work out with weights often, you also lose fat and look slimmer. That whole muscle weighs more than fat thing, that is a real thing. But walking around the block is not building muscle. So don't go walk one time around the block and be like, oh, well, I gained weight because muscle weighs more than fat. No, that's not going to work for me. But if you do want to turn your bod into a lean calorie torching machine, then reach for the dumbbells or find a machine that uses weights. You can find them in any gym. If you're in Mason, you know Kinesio Fit and the Wellness Center both have awesome machines, free weights, exactly what you need to build that muscle. Number 5, you don't need strength training if you do a lot of cardio. True or false? False. We've already talked about this. Cardio is king when it comes to your heart, yes, but strength or resistance training does wonders for your bones and your joints. Okay, so you want to get in at least 2 strength sessions per week. 6, which is better for you in terms of what order you're working out in? Should you do cardio before you lift weights or lift weights and then finish up with some cardio? This is tricky. Well, the answer is it depends. Yes. It depends on your goals, okay? If you're training for a 5K, perhaps, or a marathon, start with cardio. Your muscles will be warmed up, and that may help prevent injuries during the strength training portion of your workout. But if you're focusing on strength and you're working on building muscle, then do the weights first before the cardio, and that will help make you stronger and give you that toned look. So interesting, huh? Number 7, which one lowers your risk of dementia? Cardio or weights? Well, good news, both. Yeah, they both do. Whether you swim, run, power through push-ups, I know I don't like them either, use a leg curl machine, whatever it is you do to play, all of it is good for your brain. Cardio and strength training, all of them help you think more clearly and they improve your memory. Number 8, another true and false for you. Weight training might keep you from falling when you're older. This is easy, you know this. True, yes. Using weights not only reduces your risk of heart attack and strokes, but it also lowers your chances of developing osteoporosis as you age. So training with weights strengthens bones, helps with balance, can make daily tasks easier, like climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, all those things that get harder to do as we get older. Other weight-bearing exercises, like dancing, can also help with this. Yes, I love that. Keep dancing. Number 9, it's best to go at least how long between strength training workouts? Okay, if you're lifting weights, and I'll give you a multiple choice here, is it best to go 24 hours, 48 hours, or 62 hours? The answer is 48 hours. Yes. So when you lift weights, you're actually tearing the muscles. You're making little small tears in the muscles, and it's during the recovery that your muscles actually grow. So if you want your muscles to grow, you have to give them rest. Rest is when the growth happens. So you've got to give yourself time to recover before you lift weights again. You can mix it up, but keep that cardio in there. And if you want to lift weights every day, then just switch it up. Legs one day, back one day, shoulders one day. As long as you keep mixing it up, then you're giving yesterday's muscles some time to repair before you hit them again. Next, how often should you switch up your weight training routine? Well, I'm going to tell you it's every 6 to 12 weeks. If you keep doing the same thing the same way, your body adapts. It figures you out and it's like, nah, I'm going to stop making progress. So you've got to keep the body guessing in order to get the biggest gains. Changing things up will make you stronger. It helps prevent injury. And if you're a little bored with your workouts, then try different exercises. Use heavier weights. Change the number of repetitions. There are so many different ways you can mix it up. Maybe hire a trainer to show you some new things and help you learn different, better ways to hit those muscles. And last but not least, when you're lifting weights, is it better to go fast or slow? You guessed, right? Slow? Yes. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Kind of like the way I run. Slow and steady. That's right. But also when lifting weights, if you rush through those reps, it can definitely lead to injury. So focus on good form. Don't jerk the weights. Take your time. Get tips from a trainer. Train smarter, not harder. And really, that's kind of in all things, right? We could even live smarter, not harder. Yeah. That includes being able to pick up and go when necessary, right? Isn't that a good way? To me, it's a good way to live smarter, because being able to pick up and go, it's very freeing. Yeah. Sometimes we just gotta wander, right? That's that gypsy spirit of mine speaking to you here. But if you are a wanderer, or even if you're not, but you do have to go somewhere from time to time, working on the road can be a challenge, like eating on the road, like finding ways to exercise when you're on the road. Getting your work done on the road can also be a challenge, and it takes planning, and it takes making it a priority and not just blowing it off, which can be easy to do when you're out in the middle of some exciting new place, but you can stay focused. It's manageable if you prioritize, okay? And as long as you're prioritizing, it's really not that different than being at home. The key is to eliminate time wasters. Yes. So I've got some tips for getting stuff done, and this applies no matter where you are. So if you find that time wasters have a tendency to creep into your life, pay attention to these tips, and we'll go through them pretty quickly here. Figure out your goals. We're talking about big picture goals for both your work and your home life. For example, you may want a better work-life balance. You may want to get more exercise, get more involved in your children's after-school activities. Once you know what your goals are, then you can break them down into smaller tasks and focus on how to fit them into your life, make them work. Keep track. I talk about this a lot. You know, I've said it before. It can help to take a week or so and note how long it really takes to do certain things that you do all the time. But in our head, we tell ourselves it doesn't take very long, right? Whether it's doing laundry, making breakfast, make your bed, most people overestimate how long it takes to do something simple like taking a shower, but then we underestimate the time it needs to do bigger tasks like writing a term paper Or my son writing his essay for his college application. Oh, I can get this done in just like a minute, and it's been 2 weeks. Are you done yet? Oh no, I have one paragraph left to go. Okay. Anyway, yes, this is what people do. It's very typical, but we have to know exactly how we spend our time, and then we're able to manage it better. All right. Next, prioritize. Put to-dos in 4 different groups. Urgent and important. It's group 1. Not urgent but important. Group 2. Number 3 is urgent but not so important. And 4 is neither urgent nor important. The goal is to have as few things under urgent and important as possible, because those cause you a lot of stress when they pile up. So if you manage your time well, you'll probably spend most of your time on the not urgent but important, because that's where you get the most useful things done and keep from feeling overwhelmed later. Schedule your day. Once you've gone through and made note of how long things take and what's most important, then you can start to plan things out. But do be flexible. Do you tend to get more done in the early morning or in the late afternoon? Do you like to have your evenings free to just chill and relax? Are you more likely to do your yard work if you have like one chunk of time to get it all done? Or do you do better if you spread it out just a little bit each day over the course of the week? That varies. That's up to you, okay? So think about what works best for you and don't be afraid to change things up. Next, do the hard stuff first. I know we don't like this. Mark Twain said this. This is pretty cool. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. In other words, if you have something hard to do, just get it done right off the bat, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. Next, write it down. Write it down. A to-do list is tried and true. You can use other tools, you can use your phone, whatever, but write it down. Whatever it is you use to keep track of things you need to do, it's better to have just one. Don't be like me and write it in all these different notebooks and then you can't remember what notebook you wrote it in. I know, I'll learn one of these days, but writing it down. Is it worth your time? Remember those big picture goals that we talked about here at the beginning. Is this working toward that goal? Is it helping get you there? If it's not, may not even be worth having on your list at all. Don't cheat. If you schedule a work session at 9 a.m., stick to it. 9:17 is not 9 a.m. So even if you work alone, missing that start time will make it easier for you to miss other start times. If you want flexibility, then give yourself a choice, but stick with the schedule as if it's set in stone. You know, you can trick yourself. Do you want to do this at 9 or at 2? Oh, I chose 2. Okay, fine. 2 it is. Next, just start it. Just start. If you feel a strong urge to put things off, find a way to push past that urge, even if it is just one teeny tiny step forward. You'll feel better once you've made even just the smallest amount of progress, and you may find yourself in a real groove. Yeah, here you are really wanting to put it off, and next thing you know, you're just doing it because your attitude often comes from your behavior and your results rather than the other way around. All of your time counts. Okay, say you have 15-minute chunk of time before you have to go somewhere. Well, that's the perfect time to get on Facebook, right? Or surf the web or check email. Well, you would be amazed what other more productive things you could actually get done in that 15 minutes. We are so good at the time suckage of social media and all the distractions on our phone. But for 15-minute chunks spread out through the day, we're talking about an hour of productivity. It could be spent working toward your goals, and you'll feel way better about kicking back later. Your computer, as distracting as it can help. Yes, technology can distract us, but it can also help us. So look for tools to schedule your time, track your time, remind you of something important, even block you from some of those time-sucking websites. Yes, you can even block yourself. TikTok, I know, I'm not a TikTok fan. I hate to admit this because it makes me feel like maybe I'm getting to that point where I'm like, that's just for the kids. I don't know. I'm trying to like it, but most of what I see on there is so stupid. It's so stupid. And I think, I do not have time for this. I just don't. So why am I trying to like it? Other than I have people that I know that like it, and they send things and share things, and I don't understand why. So anyway, I don't know. If you understand why TikTok is so great, please, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will keep an open mind. Set time limits. Okay, we're going back to being productive now. Set time limits. Set the most allowable time for the task. You may get it done sooner, but if not, the limit will help keep you from overdoing it, because sometimes we can do way more than we even needed to. Email. Watch out for email. That can be a black hole of time wasting. We all get so many. In fact, sometimes when I do have a little extra time, I go in and unsubscribe from things that I do not need all these emails. You can always sign back up later if you just drastically miss rugs.com or Life is Good. I mean, basically any place you've ever ordered anything is now sending you emails every other stinking day. Just let them go. So try the 4Ds. Delete. If it doesn't concern you or isn't something you need to know, just get rid of it. Do. If it's something urgent or something that can be done quickly, respond right away. Just get it done. 3, delegate. If an email asks you something that's better taken care of by someone else, forward it to that person and move on. Defer. If it's going to take more time than you have at the moment, you can put a star on it and save it for later. Take a lunch break. It may seem like it's an efficient way to work, to just keep working, keep powering through lunch, but it can actually backfire. As a general rule, stepping away for about 30 minutes or so will actually help you work better in the afternoon. So if you power through, then you get tired and you actually lose more productivity later in the day. So if you're not hungry and you don't want to take a lunch break, then just get up. Last week we talked about the need to get up. Don't just sit there. Stretch, walk around, go outside, get some sunshine, but just give yourself a little bit of time to refresh and renew, and you'll come back with even more energy and focus. Last but not least, schedule good stuff. Okay, everything on your schedule does not have to be the hard work, the gotta do's. Schedule the wanna do's too. Okay, because if you don't schedule them, they never happen. This trip that I'm on right now, I scheduled this months ago. I signed up, I got the plane tickets, because if I hadn't signed up, if I'd have kept saying, yeah, I really want to do that. Yeah, I'm really meaning to do that. I'm really hoping to do that. You know where I'd be right now? In Texas, not running a marathon in Brooklyn, New York. But it's important to me, and so I put it on the schedule. So do that for you too. The whole point of getting better with your time is to make more time for the things you want to do. So sprinkle the fun, healthy, non-work stuff throughout your week. Keep you positive about your schedule, motivated to keep going. Even if you need to schedule breaks, snacks, recreation, sex, exercise, vacation, whatever it is you need to schedule it, get it in there. If it's important to you, it's worth putting on your schedule. You are worth the good stuff. Whatever that is to you, you are worth it. I will be thinking of you when I'm running this marathon because I use you to hold me accountable. I don't know if you actually are that concerned whether or not I finish, but in my mind, it matters to you. So by golly, I'm going to make sure that I can report back and say I did it. So as I'm running on Sunday, I will definitely be thinking of you. And if there's something you're doing that you need cheering for, let me know. Yes, eatplaylive.andy on Facebook and Instagram. Message me, let me know. That's part of being a tribe. We are stronger when we lift one another. I want to be part of your cheer team as well, okay? I'll be back in the studio next week, so until then, thank you so much for being part of my tribe and tuning in to Eat, Play, Live. Peace out, peeps.